Now let's put a little bit more thought into our sales line. When I talk to folks in the private equity world, they tell me that they spend a lot more time above the sales line thinking about what could happen with their investment to drive sales up or costs down, instead of just thinking about, well, it's historically grown at some annual percentage per year and we're going to guess what that would be. We're going to put a little bit more thought into that in this video. You may recall in the first pro forma walkthrough, I hid these lines where we talked about operating assumptions, and I call them widgets. Widgets could be, depending on your business, it could be the number of shoes that you sell in a year. It could be the number of cups of coffee that you sell in a year. It could be the barrels of oil that you produce or the wells that you drill. It could be the number of stores you have open, or if the stores are changing in size, some companies like to look at the square footage of sales space that they have open. Any measure that you can find historically in the 10K that you think should correlate to sales is a good measure to start with. So I have chosen these measures. My company actually does sell widgets. Joke there. So if these are the widgets that I'm selling, how do I find that effective price? I really don't want to pull it out of the 10K because the chances that widgets times price are going to equal revenue from something I can pull out of the 10K is virtually nil. But if I can find the measure I want to use, I can calculate an effective price. Let's just take the total revenue divided by my yardstick and get an effective price. And as within all good classroom examples, it's a nice, round, consistent number. It will not be in the real world. So let's forecast things forward. First, let's think about our widget quantity growth. So whether we're doing cups of coffee or square foot of store space, looks like it's growing by 4% per year. And our widget price growth looks like it's not growing at all. So I might want to forecast these as doing the same. Then I could come up here and find out how many widgets I'm going to have. And what the price per widget is going to be. And then I should be able to think about sales as being a calculated number from these two. So equal the quantity times the price, most basic equation for revenue, and copy that forward. Now it so happens in my classroom example that this gives me the same answer that I got using annual sales growth, but it doesn't have to. Now, do I need to adjust anything else? Since my cost of goods sold is just a percentage of my sales, then this model is still robust and all the other things that are percentage of sales should work. The one thing that I would caution you on is your capital. So if I'm going to build a new factory for $100 million or do any other make any other investments, then hopefully that's going to lead to greater sales. So I leave it to your creativity to tie your capital investments to the increased output of your widgets. Okay, let's just look at one simple way that we could tie our quantity growth, our activity of our business, to a capital investment. Let's say we're contemplating building a factory. So we put a checkbox on our dashboard and edit it and call it Build Factory. Kind of simple, but it serves the purpose. We could format that control and link it to a cell and color that cell yellow. And then if we build a factory, we get true. If we don't, we get false. And let's say we're contemplating building it. That's in L11, by the way. Contemplating building it in 2022. So if L11 is true, then let's invest $1 billion. Otherwise, zero. Simple enough. And then let's say that the year following it, if we built the factory, then we get 20% sales growth. Otherwise, we get the regular 4 that we were expecting. And here I've just hard-coded in 4s for the other years. If we build it, we get 20% growth and $1 billion investment. If we don't build it, we have our regular 4% growth and no investment. So just a very basic way to make sure that if we're going to see some sales growth from a capital investment, that we actually do control it that way. Hope this was helpful.